What's going on YouTube? This is Raven99 coming at you again. This is actually going to be part 2 of my opinions and summary of the reveals for Destiny 2 Forsaken. So my last video, I kind of went over all the information I gathered from the reveal video, which I actually linked in that video. So if you haven't seen that, go check that out. But I actually watched the live stream of them talking about all the DLC information, things like that. They didn't reveal too much more besides what's in the trailer, but I did take a couple notes here that I kind of want to just go over briefly and just reconfirm and everything like that. So for the end game, basically all end game activities and things like that, probably raid and other types of things like that, that's going to be called the Dreaming City. So that's going to be taking place on the reef, called the Dreaming City, and that's going to be the location that I discussed before, that it's ever changing and morphing, and it changes over time and things like that. So next thing, there's an annual pass, which is one thing, a big thing I kind of want to talk about right now is and they're revealing, the trailer reveal doesn't really go over this information, but I did find out more about it on the Bungie website and everything like that. So the DLC for the Forsaken, for Destiny 2 Year 2, the Forsaken DLC, basically that expansion, is $40, right? Then they have an annual pass where throughout the seasons in winter of 2018 and spring and summer of 2019, there's going to be 3 additional kind of like expansions that are released on top of that, but each of those are $10 each. So you're actually looking at spending, right now it's $70. You're going to be spending $40 for the Forsaken DLC, basically the big chunk of the content, and then on top of that, the annual pass is $10 for each expansion after that for each season. So you're looking at $70 total for all the entire thing. And then if you wanted to, there's actually a digital deluxe edition that is going to be $80, and just for that, all you're going to get is an emblem, a bow ornament, and fire team medallions, and then a ghost. Like, that's all you get for $10 extra. So digital deluxe edition is most likely not going to be worth it whatsoever. Now for the annual pass for each of these 3 things that come out in the season, winter, spring, and then summer again of 2018 and 19, all that really drops during these season passes, or these season, whatever you want to call, whatever they want to call it, the annual pass, all that really drops is additional end game challenges, new gear comes out, new exotics and returning exotics, pinnacle activities, which is basically harder activities, kind of like a Nightfall and things like that. So new harder activities that could potentially get new gear for. Triumph records, so if you're going to be a completionist, you're going to need those passes in order to be able to complete a triumph. So that kind of sucks. If you're a completionist, you're going to have to pay to be a completionist. So I feel bad for those people with OCD and gonna need to spend that money to be able to relieve their OCD. And then new lore. So there's obviously going to be new stories to each of these season passes as well. So that's another thing that you get, but that's what you kind of really get. So I mean, they're kind of like a little mini DLC. Okay, so Forsaken is a giant DLC release, basically releasing a whole bunch of stuff, reworking a whole bunch of things with the grinding, the weapons, and things like that. And I'm sure Bungie will be doing other updates as well and changes and things like that. But these season passes are basically like smaller DLC packs that, just add a couple things here, like new exotics, new missions, new lore, and things like that. And it's $10 each. So I don't know if there's going to be new raids for each of these season things. Probably not. But I mean, we're gonna have to see how they're really gonna do that. But Yeah, so to stand corrected, my early video, it's not going to be all these different types of, you know, DLC that comes out. Basically, you're paying for Forsaken, which is a giant DLC that comes out, and then after that, it's just additional seasonal things that you can get, like new exotics and things like that for. So it's going to be optional if you're going to want to spend the money to get the other seasonal stuff. I mean, they're only $10, so it's not going to break the bank. But you know, again, my argument is, you know, putting out the money for things that you don't know how good they're going to be. And we've been burned in the past. I'm not going to go again on this rant, but I've been burned in the past for Destiny 2 Year 1 DLC, and I don't know if I want to front that money, even though it's $30. You know, it is what it is. So that's basically it. I'm done with that rant. So a couple other things that are coming out with the DLC Forsaken. Some of the big things, we're gonna get additional vault space, 200 slots. So that's a crap load of vault space, but I'm assuming that's gonna get filled up pretty quickly because now they're gonna have random weapon rolls. So each weapon is gonna have random rolls, like different perks and things like that come out with it. So you're gonna have so many, probably a couple different variations of guns that you want to re-roll, or if you got a good roll, you're gonna want to keep it. Then you get a gun, the same gun but different roll, which is still good, and then you're going to keep that one. So your vault space, I'm assuming, is going to fill up pretty quickly. But that's one thing that they're going to do, is expand the vault space. Weapon slot changes, I did go over that briefly. There's not a ton of information about it, but you'll be able to run different types of guns in different slots. So for example, some of them, the examples they're putting up, the most popular, commonly quoted one is 3 shotguns. You can run a shotgun on your primary, secondary, and your heavy, or whatever they're called now. It's going to be called now. But they're reworking the whole slot. You can put different weapons into different ones. You can probably put a fusion rifle into a primary slot and things like that. They're basically going to be they're testing that stuff out now with how they're going to do it with the actual ammo and things like that. And I highly doubt that they're going to have rocket launchers be able to be in the primary, secondary. That might be just locked out for the third power slot. So we'll see. That's still in development, so we'll kind of figure out how that goes, you know, later on. So random weapon rolls, I did go over that. That's probably why they're expanding the vault slot so much, vault space so much, is because of the random weapon rolls that will be occurring. Mod system update, so basically you're gonna be able to alter and mod your weapons to be able to keep them. So say that you are really in love with one specific legendary, say Uriel's Gift or something like that, and you're like, hey, I want to keep this forever, and I'm just gonna keep upgrading it and, you know, doing that thing and just keeping it and using it. So there'll be mods that you can do to keep that up. Bulk shader deletion, so you'll be able to delete, finally you'll be able to delete shaders in bulk, which is huge because I can spend all my loading time in PvP just deleting shaders. I did that during the last Iron Banner. During each loading time of each match, all I was doing was deleting shaders, and I still didn't finish it after Iron Banner, and I played a lot of Iron Banner hours. So you'll be able to delete shaders in bulk, which is pretty awesome as well. So next thing here, there's gonna be 4 additional Crucible maps. So there'll be additional Crucible maps that you'll be able to play on and things like that. And power mattering in Iron Banner and Trials. So basically they're going to be reworking that. Basically your power level should affect the effectiveness of how powerful you are in Iron Banner and Trials. So a lot of people are complaining that play Iron Banner and Trials, that it's kind of all even playing level field, and you know, people that are in trash power levels are able to destroy people in way higher power levels. So they're going to be taking a look at that and making power levels matter more in those playlists, basically those play modes and things like that. So another thing here, this is actually my last thing that I want to go over, is in-game lore reading. So a lot of people in D1 complained and weren't happy about the story Destiny has such an expansive story. Like, the story is just so in depth, and there's so many little aspects of all these different types of things in the story, but no one really knows about it because all the story stuff and components were in Grimoire, where you had to log online to read it, and it was like novel length. Like, it was hundreds and hundreds of pages of being able to read specific things about weapons and characters and why are things the way they are and all this kind of stuff. So in the new expansion, they're actually going to have in the Triumph section or the collection section, as you do the stories, you're going to be collecting bits of information of the story, where you'll be able to go into your menu and go back into your collections and read the lore. So you'll actually have some time to read lore and things like that, but that's going to be in game. So now you can actually know what's going on in the game that you're playing, the story and the background of stuff. You'll be actually be able to find out what the hell you're doing in regards to the game that you're playing in the freaking game, and you don't have to go to like some random online website to freaking read it. So that's huge. I think, to me, I read those. Like, I didn't go out, I started reading some of the Grimoire, and it was hell trying to read that. Like, it was just like, I don't know, watching paint dry. Like, it was insane to try to freaking take time and read that stuff. But now that it's gonna be in game, I can, like, during loading times, I can, you know, jump on there and read some of the story. Like, and with the loading time, like, it's just, it makes sense. It makes sense to be in the game. They should have been in the game in the first place, and now they're, you know, trying to go back and fix it. So we're getting in-game lore. So, and that's actually pretty exciting, because I want to know more about the expansive universe of Destiny, because there's so much out there, information and story and background, and who is this, who is this, who is this, who are the Vex, you know, all this kind of stuff. And a lot of the Destiny players don't know much of the story, because it was all in Grimoire on some random website. Like, who the hell wants to go to a website to read all that stuff? Like, I mean, if you're a hardcore fan, obviously you're gonna want to, but I'm not, I don't consider myself a hardcore fan, but I am a fan of the game, and I want to know what the hell I'm playing and why I'm doing things the way I'm doing them in the story. Like, why? Like, the big reason of a lot of the questions in Destiny is like, why? Why am I doing this? Why am I fighting this enemy? Why? So, and they're trying to integrate more story into the actual campaign, as we all saw in Destiny 2 when it first came out. They did integrate a lot of story back into, you know, the game itself, but this is going to be basically collecting items, like collectors items and things like that, and you'll be able to read some story, which is awesome. So that's basically it. Those are a couple notes. E3 will be coming out. Well, E3 is next week, and Destiny will be revealing more information about the story and things like that. So that's going to be exciting. I'll probably do another video, just kind of a brief synopsis of what they talk about, and we'll see how that goes. So that's it for my video. If you like this video, please leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more content. I'll be giving out, I'll be doing more content for Destiny. I'll be doing some mobile game stuff. I'm actually going to do probably some gameplay of Destiny and things like that as well. So if you're into that, I can stream and things like that. I'll be probably streaming. So if you guys are interested in any of that, you know, just keep an eye out for me on here, and you'll get those updates. So thank you so much for watching again, and I will catch y'all later. Peace out.